Boom. Welcome to the Bogey.
Did
you not do it?
Yeah, you didn't get it.
Welcome to the Bogey Bro Banter.
I wish it snapped. It kind of fades.
Yeah, you wish it was
sorry.
like an immediate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I get that.
Well, it's not your fault.
Do better.
It's-
Do better, Connor.
it's
All
the
right, change it.
technology.
Change
I
it.
think these LED lights were like $15.
Yeah, they're very cheap. Might even cheaper.
Oh, that's not just one unit?
It is, yeah. It's like
It's one strip.
Like LED strip.
But that
like the
thing
sticky
didn't come with LED lights?
Connor
What
built
thing?
that thing.
He built it.
Oh, he was setting you up for that.
Oh.
He was trying to
Oh.
give me credit.
Oh.
Wow.
Thanks, Brody.
Yeah. It's like a neon light, man.
Yeah.
Sick.
It is
Thanks,
pretty cool.
man.
It might be the coolest thing Connor's ever built
Jigsaws.
for us. Definitely the coolest thing
Too
ever built
bad
for
we
us.
want a
I
different
think it's
logo
the only.
now.
I think it's the only thing
don't
I've
want a
ever built
different
for
logo.
us.
We want the triangle.
No.
We want the triangle. I've actually been getting a lot of feedback about the triangle.
People love it. It's good clothing. It's a good
Explain
clothing
it.
thing.
Explain what's going on.
Silas called it the Naked Foundation logo.
Oh, that is so funny.
Which I thought was hilarious, but it's just the
Let's
mountain.
go,
So
dude.
basically, if you look at our logo, it has a circle,
They're looking at it right
and
now.
we take the circle out. Well, a lot of people listen to this on
just that
audio.
part. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So basically, you take the circle out, and you just have the mountains that make up the F in the middle.
it's 3/4 of a circle.
Brody said you could say it's
The
3/4
good
of a circle.
news is,
Like you take the 3/4 circle out.
it's always good to have alternate logos.
Yeah, this is our
Yeah.
alternate logo.
Yeah.
No problem.
It looks good on a hat. Those are on foundationdisc.com. Not a
Looks
sponsor.
good on a hat. Looks good on a bat.
Dude, Brody,
We did.
Brody for debate night did a full like straight face ad read for foundationdisc.com. I was like, yeah, dude, those guys over Foundation are killing it.
Well, I mean, we don't have any, if we don't have any ads for the podcast, then, might as well shout out
Connor,
our,
just let me know when you want me to do the ad reads for this
shout
show.
out our
Okay,
own,
yeah, I'll let you know.
Shout out our own merch.
I'll change the color of the background. That's how you know.
Okay, yeah, when I see it change behind my head, I'll do the ad
You'll
read.
know for sure. I can't believe you guys keep it this cold in here.
It feels incredible.
It was this cold
we
last
just
night.
leave it like this because if the unit is on, it's too loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
the
you can,
podcast.
you can
And
like
we never-
juice it up for like the least of
Oh,
first
shoot.
20
Yeah.
minutes.
I didn't post the Patreon podcast from last week, and I didn't post to get more questions. I'm gonna do that really quick. Trevor, why don't you
No,
queue
I
up a
definitely
topic?
know
a
you didn't
good
post
ad
it 'cause
read
I
for
was
the
in
Patreon
there.
podcast.
I was in there. Are you
Trevor, cue up a topic
Well,
for us
are you
while
gonna
I do
make it
this.
live?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
do it right now.
Okay, because
Okay.
I was in there last night doing stuff, and
Yeah.
I was like, this video has never got posted.
So, a little birdie told me, well, a guy who doesn't make many birdies told me that there's going to be the match coming
Yeah.
up.
Oh, yeah.
I heard it's going to be big.
Yeah,
I'm slowly getting into this because I don't know if I'm actually supposed to talk about it yet.
No, you
What's
can.
going on?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have Kelsey and Hunter play on my golf
yeah,
channel to
yeah.
promote Hunter trying to break 100 video for Foundation Nation.
What's your pick?
love that.
You've seen us both play. Who's winning?
It's close enough that it's pretty easy to pick his wife on this one.
No, I want
No,
the
because
brutal honest feedback.
he's gotten better.
I think Hunter's going to win.
He's gotten better.
But we also haven't
It's
seen.
definitely going to be close. Kelsey shot a 62.
We haven't seen
My
Hunter in the
best is a
pressure
56.
though. Pressure adds a lot to golf, but I don't think Hunter is going to be phased that much though.
But you are consistently now shooting just over 50.
I've done it twice, so I don't know
Yeah.
how I'd say
That's
consistently.
very consistent.
I mean, if we really wanted it to be like a legit match, we would go to a neutral site.
But then,
Just
I mean,
saying. If we want it to be legit,
Wow, yeah,
I
that's
think-
a good point. We
I
probably
think
should
you
go to
like
a neutral site. Yeah, probably should take it to Colonial.
I mean, the
or Ivy
national
or something.
championship is not going to be playing.
if we go,
Alabama's
I'll go ahead and
backyard.
say if we go to an 18-hole course,
We weren't playing 18. We played at 9.
You can do 9.
if we went 9 at Colonial, I would lose.
Why?
I
She
think-
hasn't played there either.
She has never played there.
No, but
So you're basically saying that if you just
Poplar-
go off of skill, you are not as good. That's what you just said.
Well,
said.
no, because I think yes, correct. Because I think
okay.
that
All right.
correct. Because
That's
I think
out there.
My miss is sliced, and that plays very
That's her
well for
miss
me
too,
at
though.
Poplar.
that's
That's
also
her
her
miss, her
miss.
miss.
I've never seen her play, so I'm just
miss is
kind of
right.
guessing.
Her
that
miss is right.
I was just,
Everybody's miss is right if you're right.
well, I'm just
Yeah.
imagining that my slice with
beginner,
the
at least.
driver has to be worse than hers.
It's tough
yes,
to be worse.
because it goes
farther.
farther. So
That's what I'm saying.
when you
Like
hit the ball
mine has to
farther-
be like she has to have more control than me off the tee.
I don't know.
I mean, we can go to. I'm willing to go to a neutral site or wherever because I think no matter where we go, it will be close.
Well, it's match play.
Even if
And
wait,
that- it's probably not
wait,
gonna
we
get
never
that
said
out
match
of it.
play.
Well, it's a match.
I feel like
We never said match
you don't
play.
want. Would you want to do match play or
We
stroke
can
play?
do match play. Match play, I might. There's a solid chance I lose.
I mean, I just figured because it was a match, it would be match play.
I don't know.
But we
because-
never called it a match.
I did,
You
I
called it a
guess.
match.
Well,
I mean,
it's
it is
one
the
versus
match.
one. It's always going to
Well,
be.
I
called a
also
match.
never called it the match. I just said it was.
But
face
let us
off.
know. What do you guys think? Do you think Hunter will take it or Kelsey? We'll see. I'll say this: you're definitely practicing more than she is.
Every day.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm trying to break 100.
The last
day.
That's all I'm
Every day.
That's all I'm focused on. I'm going to the range after work today.
To this day.
But if we
heck yeah.
set the date for the match, then I could definitely see her going out to the range.
Well, we
like
said
once
Friday.
Or twice. Oh, we're doing it this Friday.
You said you wouldn't do it this week, and I said the only day that works Friday, and it's great weather Friday.
Hunter has
69
that in
degrees.
his mind.
Okay, well then let me text her. Do you want to play Hunter in 9 holes?
She's respond like no. But, all right, well the match is off.
Match is canceled.
Well, it's not gonna be like one of those things where it's like,
Can we put something on the line?
Connor, I'm just fully trusting you because I haven't even checked to see if this is the right thing.
What are you
said
talking
you named
about?
the mailbag, the Patreon mailbag.
No, it is
I'm just publishing it. I haven't watched it.
You're publishing what?
The
the
mailbag.
Patreon.
yeah.
Patreon podcast. from
Yeah.
like 2
Did you
weeks
change
ago.
the title or anything?
I changed it to Patreon mailbag.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, it should be fine.
What are we putting on the line for this match? That's the question.
I didn't know anything was.
Do you
alive.
have
Well,
to,
let's see.
Do you
She
have
just
to
texted
wear
back.
an
She
old
said,
Dallas
"Sure!"
Cowboys?
exclamation point.
You have to wear an old Cowboys cheerleading outfit.
Yeah.
What? How is that fair? What? What? Says the guy who refuses to even do a TikTok dance.
Listen, when somebody else is in the hot seat, I'm going to take advantage of it.
No, we'll figure something out. Apparently, it's happening on Friday now. So that video will probably come out next Wednesday or maybe 2 Wednesdays. No, probably next Wednesday. Yeah, I'll post it next Wednesday.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many submissions we're gonna get for a mailbag question.
Well, we have an actual mailbag though.
No, I
We
saw.
do. We do actually have a mailbag.
We have an actual mailbag.
Well, we think.
Well,
Allegedly,
hopefully
we
do.
haven't found
Allegedly
it.
have an actual mailbag.
It supposedly was
Is
delivered.
that someone calling? Oh,
No,
yeah,
like
wait.
can't say.
a product. Someone,
What?
someone
Somebody
sent
sent me
something
some
to Connor.
discs.
Somebody
Somebody
sent
sent
something to
Connor
Connor,
discs.
and it's allegedly here. We just haven't found it.
What do you
Which
mean?
is probably in the
it's here?
mailbox.
Like it's in the mailbox outside.
Yeah, I just got to go
allegedly.
get it before we do
If I
the
found
mailbag.
it, he means like we haven't looked for it.
Do you want me to go get? Do I need to go get something?
No,
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 this is
no.
the Bogey Bro Banter. This is
Talking
for
about
the mailbag.
The next one.
The next one we
For
do.
Patreons.
There it is.
All right, I had a topic I wanted to bring up.
Gosh, I was,
Talk about it.
I was
Okay.
lost.
I had a topic that I thought would be
you
pretty
say
good.
Patriots?
All right.
You wanna
At
talk about-
patrons.
Oh,
Patriots.
No, the topic that I thought would be pretty good. We had this discussion in the office the other day. So if for those of you who don't know, my like ultimate punishment that like
Oh.
is ridiculous.
yeah.
I will never do is eat a can of tuna. We'll
So
never do
funny.
it.
And you don't understand.
So-
It
Yeah,
sounds like
go ahead,
he just
Connor.
doesn't really want to do it at all. It's like we've put like he said if $1 million is on the line,
7 figures.
I'd have
he
to think
would
about
have
it.
to think about it,
Yeah.
which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
So basically, what we came to the conclusion of is like the only way that I would go into a challenge with tuna as my punishment is if Duke versus UNC good tickets. We won't say courtside.
You said that wasn't
but
going to
good
work.
tickets.
Yeah, you did say that was.
Yeah,
awful.
you said no.
No, I thought through it more. I eventually said yes because that's
Oh.
like my lifetime goal is to go to a Duke UNC game at Cameron Indoor. So I'm not talking like if I was in Cameron nosebleeds, no, off the line.
Courtside.
It doesn't quite have to be courtside. If it
Okay.
was like middle
It's
of the
your
court,
fantasy, man. You can do whatever you
middle-
want.
Like
I mean, but
30 rows up.
is there really courtside at Cameron Indoor? No.
So like we're talking like you're in the crazies though behind the bench. That's what
Either
you
in the
said.
crazies or like if I'm in the upper deck, I'm the front row mid court.
Okay, so like
Really
awesome
good,
seats.
great seats in Cameron, Duke versus UNC.
You would do a challenge.
I would do a challenge with Tuna on the other end.
Also, it doesn't matter if Duke or UNC are good. It could be like an off
They're
year where they
always-
both
Oh
suck.
no!
Those games are always gonna be good, yeah.
are always incredible.
No
It doesn't
matter if-
matter.
well,
Even if like one team, like there's been years where UNC's been ranked high and Duke sucked.
Yeah.
Game's still good. Duke's been ranked high. UNC
It's one of those
sucked,
games
still
that
good.
no matter what, it's going to be close.
Yeah, the pressure of the
They always
game
play each
is
other
bigger
close.
than the
Gotcha.
sport itself.
Okay.
So that's like my punishment and reward. So I want to hear everyone else's. Like, what is your like ultimate
Well, I
punishment?
think
I would never
we
want
figured
to
out
do.
Connor's yesterday, which is
Yeah, but like
shot
what would have to
repeatedly
be?
with
So
a
like what would
paintball
have to be on the line for Connor to put the punishment of repeatedly getting shot with a paintball gun?
well, that's easy.
Yeah.
what would
one
your
wheel.
yeah?
Wait, what's the
But would it
question?
have to be
What's-
that good of a
what's the
prize?
question is,
So like
what's my
your worst punishment that you're like I would never do
Let's set
unless
the
this
shot.
is
The
on
paintball
line.
scenario is you have to run 100 yards, and the whole time we are just lighting you up. So like,
Oh my
so it's
gosh,
that-
that literally sounds so miserable.
so
to
it's
me.
that bad.
You have to run
It's
the gauntlet.
it's not even like the getting hit by the paintballs. It's like the suspense of just waiting to get hit like
Yeah.
that. I'll be shaking. I'll be
So
scared.
like, so what is the one wheel like the baseline? You were not taking anything less than that for that being the punishment on the line. That's the
or is there
question.
something more than a one?
There's
wheel?
something. It does have to be more than
There
one
can be
wheel.
like any you could say a house. Like,
Yeah,
it could be
well,
any monetary
say a
value.
mansion, a
it's just
helicopter
like,
pad.
what would you need to be willing to put that on
a
the line?
submarine.
This isn't a realistic
Okay.
like we're not actually doing like for instance there's no way I'm actually getting good Duke versus UNC tickets because like this year that would cost like $20 grand each.
I will say that that's
Private jet.
All right, I'm speaking complete transparency here.
Yeah.
I'm not making a deal at all. Like this is complete transparency.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys really underestimate the value to me of everybody trying to convince me to do something. So like I want to say it would have to be a one wheel, but also at the same time, if we were doing a video where you had to just run and get hit by paintballs, if you guys convinced me to do it enough, I'd probably end up just
Then that's not your punishment.
Yeah, I get it.
That's not. You
I
don't-
guess we haven't quite
like,
dug deep
We
enough
haven't found
then.
your punishment then.
Like
'Cause,
that is that is terrifying to me.
Yeah,
but
because you just
maybe,
had a one wheel
hey,
in one
maybe,
end zone. He starts in the other.
But
and he just
maybe-
has to run to get the.
Oh my
one
God.
wheel.
You just got
Gosh.
to make it there,
You just
and
have
like
to
we just
make
have to
it
shoot him
there.
so hard to get him to stop.
No, but I'm saying like if you're
just
saying
till he's suffocating with paint or like can't walk.
if you're saying peer pressure alone can make you get shot with a paintball gun, it's not your punishment.
But
it's like
maybe
peer
my
peer pressure
friends,
alone is not getting me to open a can of tuna, much
but
less
maybe
eat it.
what if maybe my friends cheering for me is
Hey,
the reward that is equal to getting
Dang.
shot by paintball.
Then that's
not
not that
good
big
enough.
of a punishment.
But you don't understand how big of a reward that is.
Yeah, I do. You got it for free for the one wheel. That's what I'm saying.
true.
That's not
That's
that big of a
true.
reward.
I'll admit, Hunter, like as extreme as you are with the,
I don't know if
with
I'm that
your
extreme about
punishment,
anything.
Yeah, I don't think I'm. I don't know.
What if I
there's-
was okay? Your punishment, you get shot.
For $1
Where?
million,
Yeah,
yes,
that's what I'm
I
saying.
wouldn't
Like,
There you
think
go.
about
Like
it.
that's
Shot with
like
a
you're not
gun.
gonna get peer pressured into getting shot.
No, we're
So,
talking
like,
about
you're
a
right.
gun.
You're right. I
We're
mean,
talking
I'm
about
saying
a-
there could be any punishment, and then what's the
Wait,
thing?
we're talking about a real gun getting shot. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like what's
You
the
would get shot for $1 million?
Yeah, definitely.
It depends. Well, if I could choose exactly.
Yeah,
where I was
yeah.
gonna
Like
shoot.
Where's
if you
the
can, you
location?
can shoot me through the shoulder right here.
If I'm
where there's
getting
nothing
shot-
that's
there.
too close. That's too close to your chest.
No, if
No,
I'm
through the
I
shoulder.
would choose
right
like
here,
my
there's nothing here.
arm, my
If
like
I'm getting
Achilles
shot-
tendon.
No, then it'll hit a bone.
if I'm getting shot in a place to where I would have to know, like, obviously this is completely hypothetical.
Know
I'd have,
that nothing
I'd have to
bad's
know that
gonna
I'm
happen
making a
to
full
you.
recovery and like nothing's ever. There's gonna be no repercussions other than yes, you just got shot and it hurt
Yeah.
so bad. Then I'm not sure what the money amount would be. It would probably be at least $500,000 because like it's just a ton of pain for like the moment, and
well,
then
plus medical bills. Medical bills have to be covered because like if you
Yeah,
go,
they have to be covered
If
too,
you go
yeah.
like
Yeah,
half a
yeah,
million,
yeah,
you
yeah.
might be like, oh,
that's what I'm saying. Like there for
And
just like
insurance
a
doesn't
few
cover stupidity
moments,
sometimes.
for a few moments of
Sometimes.
agony, like there's no telling. Like what's a man's price?
$1 million.
So what-
I want that condo,
so
you
is
know.
your-
I
so is
want
your-
that white picket fence.
If your ultimate punishment is the paintball, and you're saying that,
Tighten the thing.
I think
down.
getting
Are you
shot
meaning
though
to do
isn't
that?
creative
yeah,
enough.
because
What about
it's more
buried
comfortable
alive?
this way.
Oh my god!
Buried alive.
Like till you
I don't
die.
know.
Honestly,
One
have you
time-
seen
No,
like
I've
when,
got a funny
you see
story.
when
Buried
Mr.
alive
Beast
in a
did like the
coffin
buried alive?
for, like, an hour.
I can't do.
I have a funny story that has to do with
Claustrophobia.
being buried alive. I wasn't buried alive, but one time, whenever I was in like high school, my family watched this movie. I can't remember who was in it, but this guy basically gets buried.
Ryan
alive.
Reynolds is in it.
Is that it?
Yeah, where he's buried and he's on the phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at one point in the movie, a snake gets into like the box with him, and he's like freaking out, like stomping and everything. Think about how terrifying that would be if
Yeah.
you're in a confined space with a snake like that. Well, I had a nightmare that night, and I kind of, whenever I sleep, the things I do in my head kind of just happen. Like I used to sleepwalk a lot as a kid, and I talk a lot in my sleep. Well, I had a dream that a snake got in my bed with me.
Mm-hmm.
And at this
dude,
time,
I've had that dream.
and at this time in my life, I was obviously living with my parents, and my bed was lofted, and it was like 6 feet
You
high.
just dip out of there.
And so I had this dream, and so in real life, I start kicking, and I turn myself around to where my back is towards the end of my bed where the ladder is, and I put my feet like on the wall, and I just completely kick myself off the back of my bed and land flat on my back on the ground. But since I was asleep, I was like,
Dude,
it like didn't hurt me or
that's
anything.
wild.
And I just kind of woke up, and I was laying on the ground. I was like, what the heck? And I climbed up and went back to sleep.
That's funny.
Do you want to know?
And
Do you
no one
wanna
in
know
my
how
family
that-
came and checked
Do
on
you want
me.
to know how that movie with Ryan Reynolds ends? Spoiler alert. You want to know how it ends?
Sure.
So this is how it. Spoiler
Oh,
alert.
yeah,
So
it was
basically,
crazy.
he's on the phone with people
What,
who
do
are
we know
trying.
the name
to,
of the movie yet?
I think
on
it's called
Netflix
Buried
right
Alive.
now. I think it's on Netflix or something. He's on the phone with people that are trying to like find him and help him. And it goes on and on and on. And towards the end, they're zeroing in on where they believe he is.
Yeah.
The dirt is starting
He's-
to collapse on him. He's starting to suffocate, but they're getting so close to him, so close to him. He hears them on the phone. We're almost there. We're almost there. And then you hear them go, oh no. And he's like, what? As he's about that. And they're like, we're at the wrong spot. Or like this coffin's empty or
They're
something.
at a box that's empty.
They're at an empty box. And then that's the last thing he hears as the dirt begins to close on and kill him. So he thinks he's about to be rescued, and then they're at the wrong place the whole time.
Dang.
Yeah. Whew.
That's crazy.
So how much money would that cost?
yeah.
All right, so
Think about
Connor,
that.
Connor, we got the paintball gun. I think it's a little bit of cop out. We'll come back to you.
Yeah, I'm not
Trevor.
sure.
I don't know because when you talk about like I just said I would get shot for $500,000. So like,
Okay, but yesterday you were saying like TikTok dance, like.
but for
It's
$1
never
million,
gonna lie.
like that's like you
No,
said
but
you'd have to
there-
think about it for $1 million with the tuna thing.
It
I
doesn't
don't
have to be the same level of crazy.
I
It's
feel
just
like it does,
what are your
though.
two?
I feel like
what
it
are your
does.
two things?
because
What's
like the
any
TikTok dance one,
irrational
yeah,
fear?
I'd probably do it for $10,000. Like,
Okay, so there you go. Like TikTok dance punishment,
Cave
10 grand.
diving.
Oh, heck
that's
no.
scary. The
That
people
sounds
like
like
the
fun.
people that do the
Or like tunnel, like the
the
people that
tunneling
crawl through
thing.
tunnels.
Oh heck no, dude.
I've always wanted
Like
to do
you
that, but
have
I
to
think
make
I
it
would be scared.
53 feet through a tunnel.
I would say skydiving would be a pretty extreme one for me, just
No,
because
it's not hard.
No,
it's
I-
literally just hard to get out of the plane.
yes, but you
once
have
you're
to
out,
you
you're
have to.
fine.
I don't think
it's
that
not
it's the
it's not
difficulty
the
that
actual
he's upset
action.
about.
Yeah, it's the point that I have to decide that I'm going to go jump out of a plane when there's a chance I could die.
I would
No, but
definitely
like,
do it.
And I
you
don't
can-
have to.
But what
Like-
I'm saying is like that's a very easy like you're freaking out, and then you like get to the edge of the plane, you're sitting there, and you're like, oh my god, and then the guy just
Yeah, no.
leans. You have no control.
Once I get in the process, that's not the hard part. Would be convincing myself I'm going to go skydiving because I have to decide I'm okay
yeah,
with
but
that.
I feel like cave diving or like the tunneling thing, like you
No, they're
have to convince
all-
yourself to do that, and then
And
when you
yes,
get there,
you actually have to keep
you
doing
actually
it,
have
yes.
to keep doing it. You can't
Being-
freak out.
being
Like
in dark-
skydiving, if you're freaking out, going, "Oh my god, I'm gonna die," the person
I feel
behind
like
you is like, "It's
skydiving.
fine,
I feel like skydiving. As soon as you're out of the plane,
It's over.
you're having fun.
it's over."
Mm.
No,
I'm not having fun till that
Not
parachute's
everyone.
pulled.
Yeah, I'm not even.
Not
I don't even know if I'm
everyone.
having fun until I'm on the
Once the
ground.
parachute is pulled and I'm slowly gliding to the ground, I'm cool as a cucumber. But while
Really?
I'm falling, before I know the parachute's successfully
that
deployed,
makes
I
sense.
am.
I get that.
literally
I
am
would say
thinking
not
that I'm
everyone,
dying.
Connor. But
To me,
for me,
it
I
would-
was
it would
terrified
be like-
until I got out, and then it was awesome.
I would.
Okay,
I would
yeah.
think that
Not
I am
me.
going to die until that parachute
yeah,
goes
but I'm
out.
sure there are some people that are absolutely terrified until their feet are back on the ground.
Yeah,
I think
that
I'd
would
be very
me.
nervous
Even when I'm
and
hanging
then-
from the parachute, I wouldn't feel safe.
I think I'd be very nervous, and then the moment he jumps out of the plane, I would just be like, "This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen."
I'm sure it would be.
If you want to do something that's like a little less extreme but still incredible, do like hang gliding. That's way better because
you're never free falling in that.
what?
Because you're never free.
You're
falling.
never free falling, and also it is a little sketchier because you are just like sprinting off a cliff, so that's kind of weird. Oh gosh. But
Yeah, I don't like that one either.
but like when you actually get going, it's more of like it's almost like parasailing when you're like behind the boat and you're just like cruising and
I
looking.
feel like
at the
there's more
sights.
that can go wrong in hang gliding, though.
I have heard of people dying
What do
in
you
hang
mean?
gliding accidents.
Because like hang gliding is like with a parachute, if all else fails, you're gonna just float down. Well, unless like it malfunctions. With hang gliding, it's like if you get this angle, you're still gonna speed straight at the ground. Like you still have to have somewhat control in hang gliding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
Parachute's
that's- I
kinda
mean,
just
you're-
like
you're
deploy
not
and let
hang
it
gliding
go.
by yourself though. You're doing it with a professional.
Yeah, you're right. But like,
Yeah,
it just is
If-
a little
if
bit
between
windier
the
that day or
two,
something.
If like if you by yourself had to do parachuting or hang gliding,
I would do parachuting.
You would do parachuting because there's way less stuff.
If me
to
by
have to
myself,
learn.
I think I would do hang gliding just because I'd be scared I'd pass out before I could deploy my parachute.
No, you're not. You. I don't think
I'd
you would
pass
be
out
the
out of
one.
fear.
to-
Yeah, you'd be
you would
doing
not
it.
be
No,
the
he
one
said
deploying.
by yourself.
No,
he
I'm
said by
saying by
yourself.
yourself. If you had,
Yeah.
that's actually an interesting
That is
question.
terrifying.
I've always
'Cause
wondered.
hang
Oh my
gliding-
gosh, that just made me so much scared.
always
Like if I was
wondered
by
if-
myself, I don't know if I would make it to the point that I throw my parachute.
I've always
up.
wondered if I was on a plane that was like about to like blow up or something, and I had the parachute but didn't know how to use it yet. If I
Could
would
you figure it out?
Well, I'm
Oh
sure I'd be
my
able to figure it out,
gosh.
but like, would I have the guts to just like make that jump right off the plane? Like, how long would it take me? Like, eventually, I'm sure I would, but like, how long would it take me to just throw myself off that
Are
plane?
there, is there
At
an
what time are you
altitude?
throwing the? At what time are you pulling your
I
parachute?
was gonna say, is
Yeah,
there, is
that's
there
be
an
the hard-
altitude where it's
Yeah,
like
you
if you
don't
pull
wanna
your
pull it too
parachute too
soon.
soon, what's the danger? Will
because
it
you
rip?
have no idea where the heck you're gonna go. You might
Well,
end up
if
in
the
a
plane's
city.
dying, I don't care.
yeah,
I'll land on top of a skyscraper.
I feel like my
like, at least I'm
strategy-
safe.
I would
Kind of.
definitely try to give myself plenty.
I wonder,
I feel like by the
too-
time I figured out how to pull the parachute, I would be at a low enough
I
altitude.
wonder
to make
too. If
sense.
I
the
might
jet
pull it before I
streams-
jump out.
I wonder,
Then you would definitely die.
it just snags on the turbine.
are the jet streams potentially too like?
I think you want to be low enough that you're below like.
Could it be
I mean,
too
in
crazy
an
up
emergency
there?
situation, that you're not. There's not a wrong answer. Just pull the parachute.
No, there could be though. You could pull it in the parachute, not
You're
work 'cause
already
you're too
dying
high.
either way. So like,
What?
Yeah, but if the parachute doesn't work because you're too high, you
Yeah,
just
you're
keep
dead.
on falling.
You just
and-
died longer.
No, you just keep on falling until you're at the right altitude to where it does work, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't know how parachutes work.
Clearly, none of us do.
I'm
Here's
just
the thing.
wondering, do you
Here's
free
the-
fall only for the
I don't know if
purpose
I've
of
ever
free
heard of
falling?
somebody die in a parachuting accident where they pulled it too soon. I don't know if I've ever heard of that.
That's what I'm saying.
Like they pulled it too soon. It worked perfectly fine, but they just pulled it too soon.
I'm going to
I
search
don't think I've
this.
ever heard
I'm
of
going
that.
to search this.
Well,
Can
Brody,
you
what's
pull
your
a
what's your
What
punishment?
happens
in-
if you pull
in
parachute
Marine?
too soon?
Brody, what's your punishment?
And like, what reward would have to be on the line for you to do it?
See, I have ones where it's like I just will never do it no matter what the reward. And then I have ones that's like, all right, I'll do that.
Well, let's hear both.
Well, let's hear the.
Well, like the tunneling and cave diving, anything like scuba diving ish,
Yeah.
I would never do.
really?
sure.
Even just scuba diving?
he doesn't float.
Oh, he done like you
Well,
like
I
open
also
water.
have really bad ears.
He doesn't
So
float,
like,
man.
if I go to the bottom of like a 5-foot pool, my ears get destroyed.
Have you, like,
Really?
I
Have you-
can't clear my ears.
Have you been snorkeling? Do you like snorkeling?
Yeah, but I don't go under the water. Like I don't
Okay. You
like
just
Chelsea will
dive
like
down.
free dive and like go 20, 30 feet under the water when we
He doesn't wanna
snorkel.
risk getting the
Snorkeling
bends.
is some of the most fun I've ever had.
I would
Yeah.
be scared of snorkeling just because I go out in the ocean like pretty deep even. Like I don't, but if I was in, I go out like all the way into open water ocean to where like I'm now in the territory of the scary sea creatures. So like I'm sure I would do it.
Kind of just
Yeah.
have.
But I would
Snorkeling's
be-
kind of fun, like
I would be
over
freaking
a coral,
out.
over a coral reef or something.
Right,
Yes.
but I would be
Yeah.
freaking out that a shark would come.
But
around.
you,
was-
it's
we-
a, sorry,
Go ahead.
It's like the amazing thing to me was that like if I'm in the ocean, well, one thing, East Coast oceans are like the water is green, so
Yeah.
you can't see anything anyway. But like if you're in that water, like I'm thinking my head is more powerful than what's actually in the ocean. So I'm thinking,
Except for you have to swim to get away from that.
Well, yeah, I'm just thinking that like there's so much stuff around me right now going on underneath here. It's a horror movie underneath me. While with snorkeling, it was like as soon as I put the goggles on and I went under, it was like so beautiful
Like in a
that
movie?
I wasn't scared anymore.
Yeah.
Like because I could see everything.
That's
The
a good
most
point.
scared part I was whenever there was a barracuda in front of me. That
I'll
was
say,
scary.
yeah,
Oh my
I'll say
gosh.
that
That was very scary.
coral, like the coral reef snorkeling, kind of like off the coast a little bit, is very fun. We did go out. I've only snorkeled one in like deep waters where there was like a shipwreck, probably like 150 feet
that's
deep
scary.
or something.
That's scary.
And so we're like out in the middle, like what you're talking about, like just open water, waves, like big waves and stuff, and you're just like, that's a little terrifying.
We did something called
That wasn't fun.
We did
Yeah.
something called the Wall, and it's we snorkeled the Great Barrier Reef, and then they take you to somewhere called the Wall, and what it is it goes from 17 feet to a drop down to 70 feet, and then to a drop down to 700 feet,
That's awesome.
and so you and it might even been more than 700 feet. It might have been like in the miles, but you're like at the 17 feet and you're like, this is really cool. You get to 70 feet and you're like, oh, this is a little bit scary. And this is like crystal clear water. And then you go to where it's like the huge, where you're just in the ocean because you're nowhere near a shore. Like they boated you out there to where you're like in the open ocean. And it's like it's like you're floating in the color blue. Like it's like
That's
and that's
crazy.
it. And I was floating out there at one point to where like the rest of the crew was like behind me. And I was just thinking, at any second, a huge creature could just come from this water like this and kill me. And then it made me scared.
Here's a
The
question
only
for
experience.
y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say the only time I ever experienced something like that. I don't remember where I was at, but we went snorkeling. It was like a coral like area. It was a few feet deep, 5-10 feet deep. And so you're swimming. You can see everything. You can go down a little bit, but you can't touch any of the coral obviously 'cause it's protected, and also some of it will like light you up if you touch it. So like you can like swim down and like look around whatever. But then there was like a drop off. It wasn't the Great Barrier Reef, so it wasn't like that wall, but the drop off was at the point where like it was deep enough you couldn't see the bottom.
Yeah,
So it just eventually just got black.
That's
And that's
Crazy.
scary.
And so you're just like swimming, looking
I'd
down
like
at the
to see
coral, and then I know
something
it's
like
like, and you're just like, that was the only time I've ever been scared in water.
It's kind of a weird feeling where you feel like I should be falling.
Yeah, you're looking
Yeah.
down and you're just like,
That's
It kind of
crazy.
makes you
feels like
scared
you're
of
not
heights.
floating.
It makes you scared of heights.
It was
a little
very
bit.
weird.
Here's my question: if Bezos comes up to you right now, offers you a spot on the next Amazon
No.
rocket, are you taking it?
No. I have no desire to go to space.
Same.
No
I think-
desire.
I'm not taking it right now.
I'll be like one of those
I was
peasants that
single-
stay on Earth and everyone else is on Mars.
Too risky.
I'll be a peasant.
But I will say that space has always fascinated
I'll
me
be
a
one of
lot.
those worker people.
I've always really liked space travel and stuff, and I would love to be an astronaut if I wasn't such a coward.
I think if
Like,
I was,
I enjoy
it
looking.
it takes a
I
lot of
enjoy looking
bravery.
at space from telescopes on Earth.
I think
I
it'd be
think
cool
the
to go to space.
astronaut's very similar to what you were saying of where like if you can just you're terrified when you're like in water and you can't see what you're doing, and then once you got in the water you're fine. If you could do that for like an astronaut,
Well, we
where
have
it's
too
like
many.
You don't think
The thing is, we have too
because
many.
if you think about
movies.
when you're on a plane, it's actually terrifying. Like if you sit on the plane and you think about what's going on right now, like
Yeah,
where
that's
you
true.
are in like the spatialness of
Yeah.
the atmosphere,
Yeah,
it's
that's a good
actually
point.
terrifying. But if you can just sit there and like watch a Netflix show,
You just kind of stay
and then
in.
you're just like,
you
oh,
just
I'm
stay.
fine.
Keep your mind in the plane.
Yeah, keep it like that. You're just in a space and not where you actually are. Because when you start thinking like I'm 30,000 feet above the air and I'm just an object that's moving, that's terrifying.
Yeah, and the walls are like this thin.
Yeah.
and then it's nothing.
All right, I have the parachute answer.
There
Okay,
we
so it says if you open a parachute too early, the least bad scenario that can happen is a long, cold, and unpleasant canopy ride. So it's just like it's gonna be very cold up there and it's gonna be windy.
Sounds
so it's
great.
just gonna be not very comfortable.
That's fine with me.
And
That sounds great. As
and
I'm
you might
not dying.
and you might miss your
Yeah,
drop zone point.
oh,
That's it.
That's it.
But what's the worst scenario? That's not
You
the
can,
least-
you can endanger your life.
But how?
I think literally just because of missing your drop zone area. I don't
So
think
that's the danger.
I think the only
Oh, okay.
danger is
So
like,
if I'm ever in a plane and it's going down, I need to take a
just
parachute to
pop your
jump.
chute
I'm
right
jumping and
away.
just chucking that thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd rather
wait
freeze.
a little bit before you get out of the plane.
Well, yeah, so I don't get sucked into the engine.
I think
Sure.
by the time I'm able to pull the chute, I've fallen far enough beneath
Yeah.
the plane.
Yeah, it's at that point it's like I'd much rather
I'd
pull
rather
the
just be
chute and
uncomfortable
have 10
floating.
minutes
Yeah.
than like risk it for a biscuit.
Exactly.
What do you think the I mean people have obviously pulled closer than this, but what do you think is like the required like must pull your chute?
Probably like 2,000 feet. 1,000
Close.
feet.
1,000 feet, yeah.
Yeah. Base jumping is the craziest thing that I'll never understand. Where
you
you
know-
like jump off a building or something
The
and
guy.
pull.
Well, how about the guy who did it from like the outer edges of the atmosphere?
You know what's a
well,
really
that's different. Yeah.
you know what's a really good
That was
job
crazy.
is being like a parachute person.
Or is he the
Like,
guy that did
to
the
put
highest-
to put
packing them?
packing parachutes, you make so much money.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
lot
but
of
you
people-
got literally have
so
people's lives in
A
your
lot of
hands.
people do it themselves, like people that are like avid skydivers.
Oh, they will pack it themselves.
Yeah.
Yes,
If
but if
you're-
you're not, if you're just like a recreational skydiver, you pay for someone and then you tip them very well. Like
Yeah.
they make so much.
Did you see the
You better
guy
tip
who
'em.
broke
Well,
the
you
record?
tip them once you land.
Did you see the guy broke a record for jumping without a chute into the net? Did you see
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Wait, what?
He this guy, I think it was like
How
this
high was
past
he?
year. He
close
broke
to
the
1,000
record
feet.
for
Was
highest
it like a
jump.
big circus net?
Yeah, it was massive.
And he
It's just like-
jumped so high in
That
the
is
air.
terrifying.
No, yeah, just landed in the net.
Wait, how do you know you're gonna make it? I mean, I'm sure he had to do like
Yeah, you
some
can just
sort
kind
of,
of
like-
control how you like.
Yeah,
you just
no, because
right?
he
Yeah.
he wanted to land on his back. Yeah,
So he
this
like
was
did this and then.
Yeah, that's so
That's-
crazy.
highest free fall without a parachute.
I mean, if it's higher than a couple hundred feet, that's
33,000 feet.
insane. Wait, what?
If it's higher than a couple hundred feet, that's insane. 33,000.
Highest free fall without a parachute. Now, this might have been.
That's not real.
I think this was somebody. This was during a crash. This was not like
So
she
he died.
survived. No. This is survival.
Would they land it?
She was the sole survivor. She was a flight attendant, a Serbian flight attendant. Sole survivor after a briefcase bomb exploded on a baggage compartment of a plane. How?
33,000
So then she
feet?
jumped.
She was
out
in
of
a
the plane
coma
without
and
a
hospitalized for several months. Fractured skull, 3 broken vertebrae, broken legs, broken ribs, and fractured pelvis. Temporary paralyzed from waist down. Almost complete recovery, but continued to walk with a limp. No memory of the incident.
Yeah,
Did
I
she
bet.
jump out of the plane, or the plane? I guess
Guess so.
exploded in half.
This
so then it was
is
free falling.
this guy, this Luke Akins guy.
So did they basically just follow where she was falling and put the net there? Well, how did that?
Okay,
happen?
this was the. I
She
think
didn't fall into a net.
No, she didn't fall in.
this
that.
one.
wait.
This is the net one.
Wait,
The
where did
plane
she land?
exploded.
Where did she land?
I don't know.
It might had to have been in the ocean or something.
Maybe.
It was probably
'Cause-
like a situation where she like rode the plane down, and then jumped out right
Yeah.
before it hit the ocean.
They wouldn't call that a free fall.
That's still a free fall.
But you're still going just as fast as the plane was going.
So this is the one I was talking
Don't
about,
people
though.
die jumping off a bridge into the water?
you
one-
can
the
because
one-
when you go fast enough, the water basically turns into a
This
solid
this
ground.
one into a net was 25,000 feet, so almost
25,000.
just as high.
How is that possible?
The
He
net.
just jumped.
Is there video?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
there's
can
video.
see him going right there.
It was somewhat recently. It was like a
I'm
few
gonna
years
watch
ago.
this.
Yeah,
I think I've seen that video.
Is
Yeah.
he the guy in the green?
I'm not sure, but you'll see him roll. He rolls like on
He's
his
the
back
one
and
in the
lands
sky.
net.
He's the one in the sky.
Well,
There's
there's
another
three
guy
other
with them.
guys.
Those
Oh,
other
okay.
people are parachute to
There's
make
like-
sure like he's
Oh,
on his
okay.
drop zone. If he's not, they can grab him and
Oh,
pull,
okay.
pull the chute.
Well, that's
There's, like,
not as
handlers.
scary.
Yeah.
yeah, well, it's like a Red Bull stunt thing. Was this Red Bull actually?
That is
Had to be. Had to be Red Bull.
terrifying.
I mean, is this
so
guy
scary.
thinking he's about to die?
No.
No, he knows what he's doing.
People like that, man, they're in it for the thrill. You ever see the parkour guys?
Parkour guys.
Everyone's leaving him. He's by himself now.
The parkour guys on TikTok just do stuff that one little slip and they're dead, and they just don't care.
Some people just don't have fear.
One of my
They're just like, I'm just having fun. I'm enjoying my passion. I'm like,
one of my least favorite things in the whole world are the people that climb to the top of skyscrapers then hang off by one hand.
Yeah.
I hate that.
my
That is not
Stupid.
a big landing zone.
My problem with the parkour people is I don't have a problem if you're doing stuff that's endangering yourself, but when people are on top of like skyscrapers and if they fall, they could kill somebody by falling on them. That's now you're endangering somebody else's life. And you're like, yeah, I don't care if I die. Well, what about the other person below you?
Yeah.
So that's when it annoys me. But I mean,
that was not.
So if
That
that's
was not a big landing zone.
No.
Do you know how big that was? 100 feet squared.
Wow.
yeah.
That is not a big landing zone. I thought the
Not
landing zone
from
was going to be
25,000
like,
feet. That's like a dot.
Yeah.
That was very precisely
You can't
planned.
barely see that.
I
from
mean,
that.
they had to do that with no wind. They had now obviously you could test beforehand, right? You could drop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
you
a
just throw a
practiced-
watermelon.
Well, he's
I would like to have something a little heavier than watermelon, just to test.
Well, he probably also did that stunt many times with a
Lower.
parachute on,
yeah.
so that
Like,
he
line
knew
himself
if he was
up.
off his line, he could pull the parachute.
Right.
That's an expensive stunt, though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a crazy stunt.
That's the type of thing that like Red Bull throws their
you,
logo
you
on.
put a name
Yeah.
on it
Boom.
though.
There's also
100
very
billion
few
views.
people in the world that will ever try something like that.
Yeah.
Like you just did something that very few people. That's kind of sweet to think.
I mean, that's the
I
type
mean,
of
think
thing that
about
you
if-
have to be stupid to do.
Yeah, there's that guy that did the
Like, there's no way around it.
there's
You
that
have
guy
to be
that did the-
stupid.
Should we ask you guys if someone can dunk?
Oh yeah, y'all have heard that Paul used to be able to dunk, right?
Yeah, I've
I
seen
feel
it.
like I've heard
Thank
that.
you. Yeah,
I've seen it.
So he has like a 40-inch vert.
Paul's been in really, really good shape.
and he also has his what is it? Ape index? What's it called? Where your arms are really long.
I don't
Ape
know.
index.
Isn't that what it's
I
called?
don't know.
That sounds offensive.
No, it's a real sports thing.
I have
Like
no
when
idea.
your arms are your
How
wingspan.
tall are you?
Your wingspan's
5'11".
bigger than your height.
Can you dunk?
Okay.
The best I could ever do was to dunk a volleyball,
Hunter.
to where I could if I could
Can
palm
you
it
make sure
and
the
it was
court's
light
plugged in all
enough,
the
then
way?
yes. But I could never dunk a basketball because it was too heavy and I couldn't palm it.
Let me Google this.
5'11". What's your vert to touch rim? Just a touch, like a
I have
fingertip.
no idea what it is.
I was trying to think about that yesterday.
I'm not
It's
sure.
like-
I can still
Yeah.
now. I can still jump up and grab the rim with one hand very easily.
The ape index is a measurement of how your wingspan compares to your height. Most people, the average wingspan is equivalent to your height.
Yeah.
Paul has a bigger wingspan than his height. So what I was saying was like a normal 5'8" person, sure, would have
Yeah,
to
he
jump.
probably has
pretty
the
high,
wingspan
but
of
he
like
can
a
reach up as
5'11",
high as like a
6
6 foot person.
5'9".
So you don't have to have that. If you have a really long wingspan, you don't have to jump as high as someone with short wingspan. Like Nate Robinson's what 5.
Nate Robinson's 5'9".
But
so
his
he's the
he
same
doesn't
height as
his.
Paul.
But look at his arms. His arms are short.
Well, I'm going to look at his vertical. His vertical is 43 inches and a half.
But find a picture of him, his arms.
Find a
just
picture of his arms.
Find a picture of search Nate Robinson wingspan.
What am I doing this for?
Because my argument of Paul wouldn't have to jump as high as Nate Robinson.
Oh, well, Nate Robinson jumping 43 and a half. That's why he can do those dunks.
yeah, Nate.
Because he can get so high above
We're
the
also
rim.
Yeah, 'cause
talking.
he's
we're
doing
also talking about the difference between like a rim grazer dunk and Nate Robinson doing like
Yeah, that's what I'm
crazy-
saying. Nate like to be able to like dunk with the ball through your legs, you have to jump higher than just
So
being able to
we'll
dunk.
probably say would take like a 35-inch vertical for Paul
He's 6'1".
wingspan. That's pretty
6'1"
impressive.
wingspan.
So there you go.
So what
I
is
mean,
that?
I
I don't know what
4
Paul's
inches-
wingspan
So that's
is.
4 inches.
I don't know
more.
if the rim was regulation, but I've seen him.
I tried
dunk.
finding it on YouTube. I didn't see it.
Okay, I know it was like at the end. of
I've
the
also
video.
heard Paul say that he could dunk. And I feel like I've seen it too.
Isn't it?
It's impressive.
No, the 50+ one's a 3.
No, I think it's in this first.
If you're under 6 feet and you can dunk a basketball,
thought
that's
it
impressive.
Yeah. That's what I was saying when I picked it for my
Well,
ultimate team.
I guess it depends on how you're saying dunk a basketball. Are we talking about like? Because I don't think it's as impressive.
We're not
if you're
talking a
throwing it-
crank back dunk.
No, I'm just saying if you do like the alley oop to yourself
that
and
still
then you
counts
jump
as a dunk.
and then you
It's not
tap
as
it in,
impressive, sure.
It's not
but,
as impressive,
but it's still a dunk.
Yeah. No, it is. It still counts.
Because like if you don't, you have to like cup the ball a little bit. So you have to jump higher if you don't alley oop it.
Well, you actually have to if you don't alley oop it, you actually have to get the entire ball yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
over
It's
the
way-
rim.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to do
Where
alley oop. Yeah.
If you just get the ball's over the rim already, and if you just get 2 fingertips or like a little bit of your fingers to go in, then
Sure,
you-
sure, yeah.
You
But both
also-
are both
yeah.
are dunks.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been able to dunk a basketball.
No, I've touched rim. It's the closest.
It was
I've ever
always cool when you finally could dunk a tennis ball. That was like everyone, like in middle school, everyone was like, I could dunk a tennis
gotten. I don't even know if I tried dunking a tennis ball. I don't remember.
That was
I
always
could do it.
because
Well, no,
it
it wasn't in high school.
Well,
but
no,
I
it was
could touch
touch
the rim.
net.
Touch net, yeah.
Like middle school dances in 6th grade, that's all we did. We just went and just tried.
I remember the first time, 5th grade was the first time I could touch net.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
thought it was so cool.
We always just tried
in
to
high
touch
school.
net.
All I could do was touch net,
no, kids
touch
would-
backboard, and then slap the box
Kids would
beneath
do
the rim.
you do the layup and you clap the backboard.
Yeah.
People love that. Oh, my
Layup
gosh.
and then you hit the backboard.
So
We had
funny.
before they made it goaltending. One guy on our team, Stout. That was his like plan of he would sprint down like a chase down person. Like if he couldn't block the shot, he would just jump up and slap the backboard.
to create vibration. For
Not
the shot
even
to
that,
miss.
just to like show like I could have blocked it if I got here in time.
Oh, I've seen kids that do that.
You know what I mean? Or like the layup's already basically in the bucket, and then you
yeah.
jump up and slap the backboard. Just be like, yeah, you better watch out next time.
So cool.
I couldn't do it. I could barely in high school. I could barely touch the backboard, and I could barely touch the box. It wasn't in college. The closest I ever got was like I was able to pull the rim down, but I couldn't like grab rim. Like I got my fingers like just barely over the top of the rim where like it
yanked down.
it came down.
Bro, one time on the intramural courts at college, I went up 2 hands to grab the rim, and my hands were really
Oh
sweaty.
no!
So I grabbed onto it, and then slipped off and just fell on my back.
We were doing,
Somehow did not get hurt at all. Like
we were doing.
I don't know how, but
I was playing AAU.
it was pretty funny. I thumped
I
myself.
was playing AAU basketball, and we were doing like a full court layup drill to where like the person had to get the rebound and then throw it to you as the outlet pass, and you had to go
Rebound,
make the layup.
outlet.
Yeah, and so they got the rebound, they threw it to me for the outlet. I took like 2 dribbles from half court,
just
like I was
dunked.
sprinting, and I went to jump, and
feet went out.
There's water there apparently, and I went to jump, and I just didn't jump. And my feet just, next thing I knew, I go to jump, and it was the weirdest feeling because I
You're looking
I
at the
felt,
ceiling.
I felt like I was going up, but I was going backwards. And the next thing I knew, it was just on my back. And then everyone just laughed at
the
me.
best.
Because, like, I mean, what else are you supposed to do in that situation? But I was very embarrassed. Because I was like an 11-year-old. It was my first time playing AAU basketball.
That's a tough scene.
Yeah,
It
it's,
was a tough
it's
scene.
embarrassing falling in front of your friends.
Donkey. Next time we
Yeah,
go,
you
to
probably
a
wouldn't know anything about
I know all too well about that.
Do you have any bruises?
Oh,
No.
you've got no way.
There's no way.
I was expecting.
Strip down.
You got to be banged up right now.
No, I don't have it. I don't have any. I was
That's
expecting
shocking.
on the side of my knee to have a huge bruise, but it actually doesn't even hurt. Actually, now that I realize it, I don't hurt today.
That's very impressive.
That is incredible.
Connor has incredible resolve.
This guy's got like some nanotechnology, bloodstream healing powers.
Yeah, that's crazy. If you're wondering what we're talking about, the video coming out next week will show it.
Yeah.
Connor took
an
it.
absolute
It's like
fall.
Scarlett took a tumble. You remember that?
No.
Yeah,
Brody,
because
surely you remember Scarlett
You
took a
explained that to us like a couple videos ago.
Oh, I don't remember. I
It's
wasn't
not in the
listening.
video, but you explained it to us while we were shooting it.
Anyways, we'll have Connor took a tumble.
Okay.
We'll make it. It'll go viral. People will love it.
What are you infatuated on right now?
Yeah. What are you staring at?
I found the post. And-
Paul dunking?
yeah, and people are claiming that he has a 7 foot.
Let me
the
see it.
people saying he dunked it claim he has a 7 foot 10-inch standing reach.
That's just not true.
Well, that
No, because
That could be true because, like-
because they're taking in their wingspan as if this was on top of your head.
Well, if you're 5 foot, Paul's what, 5'8", 5'9"?
I'm not.
5'8", yeah, 5'9".
So how long above his head would he have to be? Because your elbow to your wrist was like, on average on a human, that's a foot.
I don't know.
Because
I mean, I think we should
back in
see
like
if Paul can
ancient
dunk right
times
now.
when they would use cubits.
Probably not. That's back
No,
when he was like
he definitely
in
couldn't right
mega super shape. Like,
In ancient times when you would use cubits, you used that to measure a cubit.
thank you.
And a cubit
for that.
transitioned into a foot. So
History
that's what like
teacher
this
Hunter
here,
here.
this here is like a foot. So that's what I'm saying. It's like my elbow's above my head. So for me, I would be able to reach close to 7
His
feet.
Instagram post of it got deleted. So
Controversy.
Controversy.
Not probably the greatest.
Controversy.
Not-
But people, what was crazy is
a lot of
in
people are
debate
saying
night,
that that's-
no one had ever even heard it, much less seen it. And I was like,
Well,
that
everyone-
was
clip. It's an
no,
old
the
clip.
people that did say it. I did see a lot of it wasn't regulation size.
There's no way to confirm that.
no.
So,
and the,
we'll
but
never
Paul-
know.
Well, there's
'cause,
no
like, the
way
only
of
way for
saying
me
it.
to
Yeah, there's no
confirm
way
it-
of confirming or not because the only way of confirming it is if it was actually on like an indoor basketball court.
Yeah,
where you aren't adjustable backboards.
because the well,
because it was
all
on
of them
it.
are adjustable.
It's on it. What?
All are adjustable.
No.
No, they're not.
No,
Not if
they're
it comes
not.
down from
the
the
one
ceiling.
that just comes down like that.
Yeah, you
no, it's
cannot
not.
adjust that.
No, it's not.
Our high school, we would lower them to 8 feet. For
Not all of them
Yeah, not
are,
all of
though.
them.
I
no.
never said all.
Okay.
I might have
I
said
thought
all.
you just said all.
Well,
You
I'm just
literally
saying,
just
like,
said all of
but
them are adjustable.
what I was saying was like you were saying if it was in a high school gym, there's no way to adjust it. I was saying that's not true
Yeah.
because like ours came down from the ceiling and then could lower.
Certain ones can do that, but
I've
there
never
are
seen one like
ones
that.
that literally just go down to the ceiling and that's the position.
Yeah.
Sure, but I'm
And
saying
there's no
you
way.
could be in an indoor gym with a glass backboard and it still be lowered.
Yes.
So they did. So that's what I was saying. Was
We'll
like
never
I mean,
know
this
that.
is
No,
this
we'll
is
never
the,
know.
like that. You can see the hoop. It's the the $110 hoop from Walmart.
that's that. But look at it. That is fully. That's full. If
don't-
it's lowered, it's barely.
If I'm looking at this photo,
Here's the bottom line:
if
if
I'm
you
looking
post
at
a
that-
video of yourself dunking and
Don't
you're
look
not
at
an
don't
NBA
look at
player,
Paul in the video.
people are going to
Look
claim
at
it
the
wasn't
basket.
regulation
Look
height.
at the basket. That looks like it's fully
Good
up.
point.
I've seen people on
the basketball
Instagram.
hoop that Paul currently has in his thing is not 10 feet.
Really?
No,
I don't know.
I disagree
I
with
haven't
that.
used
but
it's not 10 feet. What?
I've shot on that hoop before, and it looks to be very much 10 feet. The one in his, that's not the same.
That's
hoop,
not the same one.
So,
That's in Oklahoma.
yeah,
Oh, Oklahoma, dark horse.
yeah.
He
But-
lived in Oklahoma
Yes,
for what?
A few years.
A few years.
Why?
Just kind of.
He had a
stop.
girlfriend there.
Oh, okay.
Um.
It's like dark horse, Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's where he had his training facility. He used to post all the stuff.
Yeah, I've seen people on Instagram that can jump out of the building very obviously dunking at like a park, and everybody in the comments is like, "Not regulation, not regulation." Like,
Well,
who
it
are you,
depends
who
on
are you
how-
trying to impress? Like,
Depends on how high you're jumping. Too.
that's what I was saying. I've seen people where it's so obvious they can obviously dunk, and people are still like,
Well, it's the same. I mean, it's in anything. When you say you hit a golf ball 300
dunking.
yards,
Yes,
they're like,
golf is the worst.
They're like, oh, it's downhill.
If you go on
it's
golf,
wind at your back. Like
I've seen people with
everyone's
TrackMans
like that.
behind them on golf TikTok,
Yeah.
and people are still saying that the data is wrong. And I'm like, are you?
Yeah.
People don't believe that people can hit the ball far because they know that they'll be like, oh, so just because touring guys hit it 300, there's no way
No one
somebody
else
can
can
hit
hit
it
that far?
350. Like,
Yeah.
yes, they can. Those guys on tour are all good at all the other stuff too.
Yeah.
That's why they're on tour.
Well, also,
Well, it's like-
is it like in golf where if you hit 300 on tour, you can hit farther than that,
a lot of times,
but
Yeah.
you don't
A lot of
because
times,
you're
yeah.
trying to hit a fairway.
Guys are swinging. I mean, when
That's like in disc golf. Like
you hear people say you hear in disc golf too, where guys are like, I'm not throwing 100%. It's like, you're not, but you kind
It's
of
like,
are.
for instance-
There's a recklessness of being able to throw harder,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you still are
you're
throwing.
throwing 100% while in control.
a perfect example.
You're throwing your 100% control.
Perfect
throw.
example is
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson. His whole life was hit the ball pretty far, but was like a 300, 320 guy. And then now he's like 52, and he decided he was going to change his philosophy so that he could still compete on tour and just try to hit bombs. And he's hitting the ball further than he ever has on
Yeah.
tour.
Technology obviously helps in
Yeah,
the
but, like, he
fairways
is
and stuff
swinging
like that.
hard.
But you can see his that's the easiest thing is you can see how fast he was swinging 10 years ago, and you can see how fast he's swinging now. So like those are things that are very objectable, like facts.
And
of,
you can
like,
see that he is trying to swing harder.
his balls or his club head speed
It's like
is
Bryson
faster.
DeChambeau too. Like he decided I'm going to play this game differently. He bulked up a little bit, and then he just started swinging out of his shoes. And yeah, he's hitting the ball a mile.
Yeah.
But like it's choice.
That's what I'm saying. Is like disc golf pros. Some people think that certain pros can't throw far because they choose to throw like hyzer flips or overstable
Right.
stuff controlled versus trying to actually throw really far because they're
Who
like,
are you saying?
I don't even know. Chris Dickerson, I think, throws farther than people think. Paul throws farther
Some
than
people
people
also
think.
have sneaky distance because they just don't look like they're throwing as hard. Like Kevin Jones has a very like almost touchy looking form, and I've watched him outthrow everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't know Will Shoestrick threw far.
Yeah. That's
Kevin
crazy.
Jones throws very far. It's weird. It goes back to the thing too, where I just don't think there's really good data yet of players
No.
throwing, and also there's holes like I can play a hole that's 620 feet, right? Like on the tour card, and like just I cut off a certain distance,
And then you reach
to where
it.
I'm only 50 feet away, and so everyone's like, "Oh my god, he threw 570 feet? That's insane!"
Yeah.
When in fact, it's like probably
It'd be
straight
nice-
line distance.
It'd be awesome if we were seeing the carry distance like go up
Yeah,
at, like in
like-
golf.
Or
Well,
just
that's like,
I think the
hole
mile speed
10.
also
Yeah.
is one of those things of where like you can see, okay, this guy's throwing 70 miles per hour. This guy's throwing 78.
Yeah, hole
The-
10 at USDGC is a great example. They have it marked on the T sign.
Which
that
one's
it's
hole
like
10?
The island
The gettable one.
gettable eagle tennis.
Yeah,
court
like that hole is like 400.
It's like 400 to get to clear the OB, and it's like 450 to get to the basket.
No, I think it's more than 400 to clear the OB.
There's no way.
No way, because Hunter.
I did it.
Yeah, Hunter and I can do it, and it's slightly uphill into a headwind.
Yeah,
There's
so it's
no-
definitely not.
There's no
Oh,
way.
it is.
It's probably like 390, 385.
It probably plays over 400 though, because it is slightly up here.
Yeah, it probably plays a little over 400.
Because I think
Yeah.
the bat to the basket was 450, but it
Yeah, I
plays
think
like
that's accurate.
475.
That's probably accurate.
Yeah.
But the hole itself's like 500 something feet or 600 feet. Whatever.
No, they have that listed at that.
I believe so.
I remember
because
there's a
it goes
few-
fairway.
There,
So they're
yeah,
going
it
off
goes
of-
all the
if
way
they're going
around.
Off if you throw it that
Yeah,
way.
because like if you play it just strictly on the fairway, it is
See,
longer.
that's where I think like a drone footage or something of showing like this is the play, but then showing a shot of like if you just go
USDGC
for it.
does. USDGC is very like you never hear someone say, "Oh, that dude just had to throw 550 to get there." But I'm saying that's the type of hole you're talking
Yeah.
about, where like it says 600 feet or whatever it says, but like if someone goes for it, they didn't throw 600 feet.
Yeah, but golf's very much like that too, of where people are a lot of times being like, "Dude, these guys hit the ball so far," and it's like, yes, they do hit the ball very far, but their 300-yard drives roll out to 340. Where if you're playing your local course, your 300-yard drive like might not even roll out because that's
The fairways
part,
are faster.
They make the fairways really fast, which actually makes it harder in the sense of keeping
it
the
in the
ball
fairway.
in the fairway.
Yeah.
But if you do hit a good shot,
Right.
that thing is rolling.
It
for
also
days,
like some
so.
guys will hit fades and they don't roll out as much. Some guys are going to hit draws and they're going to
Yeah.
roll out a ton. Like
I don't even know how we got to that topic.
because people were saying
People were saying that it wasn't regulation.
Oh,
And then we started talking
hey,
about
if you
golf
can dunk a
TikTok.
basketball, that's impressive.
He can't anymore.
I'm saying if he could. Like, I think that's one of those things of where it's the same thing as like hitting a home run,
It's definitely like an athlete bucket list thing.
hitting a 300-yard drive, This was a video that I was so close to doing, and then I wrecked my knee. Where I was just going to. I was going.
Oh,
to
you're
try
gonna try
to
to like do a athlete bucket list.
I was going to do like an over 100-mile-per-hour serve, over 300-yard drive, a home run, dunk a basketball,
Throwing a slap shot in there.
maybe I don't know about a slap shot. That's
Try to get
like, 'cause, like, what is that? Like, hit a slap shot.
You'd-
70 miles per hour. Wait, how fast?
Get a
is it?
knockout.
We're talking about the
boxing.
pros are getting up there over the pros are getting over 100 miles an hour.
on
the
yeah.
slap
So
shot.
like that's where I don't think I would.
But the only
do
way you're
stuff,
getting that fast is if you skate up to it. So
I would only do stuff that was like equivalent to like the pro level
that you could actually achieve.
that I could actually achieve.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could not hit a hockey puck 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
But like my serve, I can get my serve.
I don't know
up to
how
like
much training
one.
it wouldn't take too much. I mean, there's
It
equivalent.
would take a lot because of ice. The
well, yeah,
skating.
no, I'm saying if you take away the ice factor,
Oh, if
like
I'm just
you
standing there, yeah, I
you
could
could
probably
figure
get
out
decent,
to get a
yeah.
pretty fast slap shot. Pretty
But for
quick.
that to be legit, I would have to like
skate up to
skate
it,
up and just
yeah.
freaking slap shot it, and like I could see myself.
How
just-
are you at ice skating?
Not good.
Same.
Not good. I can't go. I never
We've gotta
never
do
figured
a
out how to go
video.
backwards.
Well,
like rollerblades
that
or
takes-
ice skates or anything.
I've
got-
ice skated once in my life.
We've
ever.
got to do a video on
And it wasn't
ice,
good.
please.
You would actually have a hard time ice skating because you're a little bit.
Imagine
pigeon-toed.
how sick.
I'm a little what?
little pigeon toed, right?
What'd you say to me?
Imagine how sick it would be.
It's just like
Disc
Well,
golf?
yeah,
Yeah, a
'cause
little bit.
it's more because like my uncle is
golf on ice is
really
fun.
really
you want to be the
goofy-footed.
opposite, right?
So his feet go out really bad. So
For
it's
skating?
really hard for him to ice skate because it's like difficult for him to put his feet in a straight line.
Yeah, you want your
So
feet
you're
to be
the
more
opposite
in a
way,
straight
where it's
line.
probably difficult for you. to
I don't
your
have a
feet go
hard time to
straight.
get my feet straight.
Okay, never mind.
Like if I'm focused
Then
on
you're,
like
you're the
then
greatest
you're a
of all
goat at
time,
ice
yeah.
skating.
no, I don't think I'd be a good skater just because the balance. Of
I just
like,
want to throw
same
skip
thing
shots
with
off the
rollerblading.
ice
I have a tough
and
thing
around the boards.
rollerblading,
Like,
not
you could
because of my
throw a
feet.
shot.
Throwing frisbees on ice is
I'm
very
listening.
fun.
I feel like this has to be the most chaotic conversation because like sometimes Connor and I will be engaged in a conversation and y'all are engaged in a
crossfire.
conversation and we're all in mics. So it's like it doesn't matter if like Connor can hear what I'm saying, but like everyone just hears chaos for
Oh,
5
everybody's
seconds.
muted.
I
but
think
me.
this is where. Do you think eventually we need to get a point of where it's like us four all sitting kind of like?
We still would
in a
have
l-
mics in our face.
No, I know.
That
but-
wouldn't solve my problem.
No, I'm saying us four like sitting kind of like all because I feel like right now it's like you can't have that conversation where it'd be a lot harder to have that conversation if Connor was sitting there and you're talking through Trevor.
I still would.
You would still do it.
Yeah.
Well, I
Let's
mean,
try
I'm
it.
not trying.
Hey, Hunter, how are you doing today?
like
It's kind of nice having somebody to look across at.
Well, I'm saying that
Whenever
person
the
could
live-
potentially be a production person that's not actually on the podcast.
Yeah, whenever we have our
Right,
live
but I'm saying
studio
it's nice
set
Are you
up,
talking to somebody
firing me?
across from
No, I'm putting you for this podcast. You would.
when we have the live studio set up, we'll have the couches in a V over there,
Yeah.
and then we'll be
Flying
sitting on the
V.
couches
Yeah, that
for
would
this.
Mighty
this
Ducks,
podcast.
baby. On ice.
we've got one. All right. You watch the Mighty Ducks movies?
Who didn't?
Thank goodness. Probably not these two guys.
pretty
You didn't
sure-
watch
Come
any
on,
of the
man.
Mighty Ducks
That's the
I
like
think I've
hockey
seen
team.
one.
They're green and purple.
with
Okay, but like to
Bombay. Baby.
Watch
I
it-
wouldn't
watch
get
it-
references.
right, I'm saying-
I
No
definitely
Bombay.
watched
there
it.
are
but I will
certain
not get references.
references.
movies and TV shows that I don't. This is amazing. There are certain movies and TV shows I don't reference
Yeah.
because I know nobody's going to get them.
No.
And Mighty Ducks, I almost reference at
I'm
least once a
huge.
week.
What was the guy that had the he would stick the puck like this
Knuckle
and
Puck,
hit it?
Russ Tyler.
That was his name?
Yeah, Russ.
Was he the cowboy?
No. That was Wayne something.
Oh, okay.
And he was the cowboy.
Gretzky.
No, the Knuckle Puck was the guy they picked up from the street hockey.
Yeah, okay.
Trevor, do
He
you
was big.
Yeah.
He was the big guy.
He didn't
yeah.
really know how to skate, but they just
No.
lined him up out there.
Trevor, do you realize that
Unstoppable.
in our last video of me trying to break 86, you referred to me as the Monstars in Monster Jam? I mean, in Space Jam.
Yeah, after hole
Yeah.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's
Where you
funny.
where
That
you
was an
took
incredible
Because I said
par.
you took the. I said you must have stolen the power from a
From
disc
Paul.
golfer.
You said I must have stolen McBeast from Paul McBeth.
Yeah.
Like Monstars in Space Jam.
I mean, you were playing
Yes,
out of your
It's
mind
so funny.
until you took Hunter's advice on 17 and
I
not
didn't.
mine.
I took my own advice.
No.
It wasn't even about
My
advice.
advice was
Was the pitch out putt to me?
No, my advice was the aggressive forehand to the left.
I got to make that. Photoshop
Oh, that's
thing.
right.
My advice.
So you had
I-
two different
It
pieces
had
of
nothing to do
advice
with the
that you-
advice. It had everything to do with I threw a bad
He just
throw.
kept saying, "I think I'm the most comfortable with this," and I'd
It
be
is
like,
true.
"Okay."
At the end of the day, you can break it down however you want, but
Yeah,
like
I
you just
just
got
threw
to
a
make
bad
that
throw.
throw.
I threw a bad
Yeah.
throw.
No, that's true.
Either way.
I was just trying to give you something to where you couldn't fail.
And I was
And
trying
you're-
to give you something where if you
I was
did
trying to get
fail,
in a
it was
better
going to
spot.
be like 80 feet in front of you.
And I just threw a bad throw.
You just threw a bad throw.
That's what happened.
It
And
is
here
what
I
it
am
is.
walking on 2 feet like an idiot instead of on one wheel.
I did see a comment this morning that said like, just got done riding around on my one wheel. It was freaking fantastic. Wishing the best for you, Connor. I was like,
Oh my gosh, that one
Dang.
that you sent to us about the guy saying like, "How do I explain to
That was
people?"
me.
Oh, that was Hunter. That
Oh,
said that.
that's
was
funny.
so
about like
funny.
the electric Segway.
That made me
thing.
laugh.
No,
out
electric,
loud.
electric
unicycle.
unicycle.
He said, "How do I explain to people that a person throwing plastic in order to win an electric unicycle had me emotional?"
I saw a lot of people saying the video made him cry.
Made me
Dang.
cry too.
So there you have it. All right, that's going to wrap up this week's Bogey Road Banter. Hopefully you enjoyed. We're about to pop over into the Patreon Q&A. I always forget we end the banter
Slash
by
mailbag.
right away.
We call it mailbag.
We call it the mailbag. We call it the Patreon mailbag. We got a lot of questions rolling in. So
That's the title I made.
Should
That's
be
what I was
fun.
sticking
I'm
with.
gonna go get the mail for the mailbag.
oh, Trevor's the one leaving this week.
wow.
Whoa.
Tables
Oh yeah, Trevor. How's it feel? There he goes.
Get up. Oh!